Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231, JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
Welcome back. This is the Cool Fireman Podcast. What do you got, Unc?
The
All
Knob
right.
Creek 12 is done.
Oh no,
This is going to
Oh,
be interesting.
It's going to be great.
I have Crystal Light.
Crystal Light.
Unky's got his Shirley Temple going.
Yeah.
I got a little Voodoo Ranger rolling. Nick's on duty. Fred has
Nick's had
had
coffee.
a hell of a day.
Freddie's had a shit day. Freddie, here's to you,
Oh.
buddy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, a little pinup girl. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Notorious
Hey,
fire.
hold on. Before we get started, can we talk about my little... Look at...
Go ahead.
Huh? Look at that. Look at that.
You got that
Huh?
big department money.
Look at
Big
that.
department money.
Hey, I'm gonna look that up on Amazon while you introduce us. Come on, bring it in.
Doug
All
is
right.
so proud of himself.
I'm so proud right now. Hey,
can't-
and Chief Nakahoma. Do you know what tomorrow is, Freddie? Freddie, what's tomorrow?
Oh, it's the first day of baseball, baby.
Opening day, baby. I'm sitting on my deck all day watching baseball from 1 o'clock till it stops.
Tigers versus the Tampa Bay Rays.
Chief Nakahoma in DC, and I'm supposed to be there. God dang it, I can't go.
Look at that, Matt.
Unbelievable.
Can't hire big.
Sorry.
Can't hide big department money.
Dude, do you know how bad the Nationals are? Tickets are like $17. Nobody wants to go watch that shit.
All right.
Bring
What's
us
the-
in, Unky.
Bring it in.
Speaking,
All right,
speaking of leaders,
Freddie's ours. So,
Oh.
we're going to talk about leadership. What do you expect from an officer? What do you expect from a rookie, a guy that's new to the station but's been around, from a veteran rookie, and even from your senior man? So leadership comes in all kinds of forms. Even a regular firefighter, everybody has a certain type of leadership role into anybody's life. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I was kind of gonna throw it out there. I saw this awesome saying. When you make an officer rank, let's say we'll just go with captain. When you're the captain of that engine truck, you're the leader. The guys riding backwards, you work for them. You're there to guide them, protect them, and make sure they get where they're going. Make sure they get the training. Make sure they get everything they need to be a good firefighter. And also, we talked about it when we first started the podcast, was don't micromanage your crew, but also don't be a crew that needs to be micromanaged. So make sure you know what you need to do. We're going to start on the round table. The question is, what do you look into a person for leadership? We're going to go with Doug.
I was going to say go Freddie. Go Freddie.
We're going with Doug. Go ahead, Doug.
go for it.
Hey, what I look for in a leader or a boss? I'm sorry, I missed that.
A leader. Leadership.
What I look for in leadership is allow me the freedom to do my job. Trust in me that one, if not you, someone has trained me to do my job accordingly. And however long you have led me or supervised me, you have prepared me for the spot that I'm in. Whether that be a jumpsuit firefighter, whether that be the engineer, whether that be an acting officer when you're on the medic. I look for you to trust me and not micromanage me, to say, hey, Doug has the KSAs, the knowledge, skills, and abilities to do this job. I don't need to call him and check up on that. I don't need to, hey, what are y'all doing today? Hey, boss, you're off. You're at the beach. Why are you calling me? Whatever the case may be. Trust me that I have the KSAs to make that happen, whether that, and that includes everything down to, right now I have a rookie at my station. That includes everything down to, hey, where's the rookie at with his or her training? Do they need to complete a certain module? Do they need to go out and do some physical hands-on training? Do they need to do some board work? Whatever. That's what I look for, is the trust. Trust is a really big word for me personally, and in this line of work, and not leaning back to micromanaging.
Okay.
Freddie, I'm throwing it to you, Freddie.
Freddie.
What one thing that's going to be huge for me with a leader is you can be a 1-year guy, you can be a 20-year guy, and you could still be a leader. Being a leader isn't about holding a rank, holding a title, holding anything like that. It's about what you do to inspire the people around you. And that could actually happen even if you're learning a new task. If you guys are doing a drill, let's say on something that you've never done before, you guys have never done the Denver drill, but one of your lieutenants or your captains or whatever wants to do the Denver drill because they want to have it as part of your guys' toolbox, something that you guys know. That doesn't mean standing around and ridiculing it. That doesn't mean, uh, cutting it down or it's jumping in. It's hey boss, what do you want to do? How can we do this? I'll go first. You know what? I'll go first. I'll make the mistakes so that everybody else can see the mistakes that are made, and then we can all learn from it. So to me, being a leader isn't about being right all the time. It is about making mistakes and maybe covering up for the guys that you're maybe trying to inspire and you're trying to lead. Like, we're all going to make mistakes, but you know what? I'm going to step up. I'm going to make these mistakes and we're going to learn together. And then the last part about it is I think there needs to be a bit of a mutual respect. And Doug kind of touched on it for me, but most fire departments around the country, you got to be, even the volunteer side, you got to be like a legit member, not a junior member, but like a legit member of that fire department. You got to be at least like 18 or 21, right? We're hiring adults. Once you get to a certain age, you should know right from wrong, right? So we're hiring adults. I don't need you to come behind me and say, did you clean toilets today? I don't need you to come behind me and say, is your gear on the truck? Did you check out your truck? What I think a leader is going to do is they're going to innocent until proven guilty, if you will. It's the easiest way for me to describe it. I'm going to expect that you know your job, but I want you to know that I know that you know your job. And I'm going to make you look good in front of all of our peers, as long as you make me look good in front of all our peers. It's a mutual respect. And I think that goes a long way to being a leader, because if you're waiting to take that step, if you're waiting to be a leader until you've been promoted or until somebody says, Nick, I want you to take an active role and be a leader on this department. If that's what you're waiting for, you've waited too long and you're not one of those natural leaders. And it doesn't mean that you can't be, but it needs to be something that's organic, and you need to not be afraid to step up and make mistakes, I think.
All right. Well, let's go to Nick.
So my biggest thing is, yes, be a leader, but it's for individuals who don't forget where they came from. I'm still a fireman, but Ralphie, I know you're a captain, but at one time you were a fireman.
No, I'm not a captain. I'm an engineer right now, but I'm an acting captain.
Okay, but still, you're in that. But once you were a fireman on the tailboard of a truck. You swap the deck, mop the base. You did all that stuff. Now you're doing more administrative stuff, but you're I've always been taught lead by example.
Are you picking boogers right now?
Yeah, I had a scratch. Leave me alone.
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
I've always been taught lead by example. I can delegate orders all day long, but get out there with the guys, help them get the truck clean, wash the trucks, sweep out the bay, get the oil spots up. Not necessarily getting on your hands and knees, scrubbing the tile floors, but just getting out there, doing the grunt work with them. There's a time to delegate chores and duties, assignments, and then there's a time to participate with your guys. I'll be the first one to tell you. Anytime it's time to get 5-inch up after a fire, I'm the first one to go up, and I'll be up there hand jacking it by myself, 3 guys on the ground, and you'll see a BCR. Why is Nick up there doing it by himself? Oh, whoa, it's just stuff like that. You just get up there. And another thing is, I cannot stand supervisors who have favorites. You have an individual who is favorited by a certain person because they have a personal relationship. So this individual may get away with certain things that's frowned upon, but your other guys see it. Like they may a supervisor may come down on me for something, but I know in the back of my mind, I said, if so-and-so, if this was somebody else and this guy did it, you wouldn't say a word. But because it's me, don't single people out. That's kind of the principality, I guess, what I'm getting at.
It's the principality, Smokey.
Principality.
What about you, Matt?
I'm just going to say right now, guys, I would work for any 4 of you guys because I'm sitting here and listening to everything that that I think is a great leader. I think that what you guys are saying about trust, empowering the people below you, empowering the people above you, just not getting stuck in the weeds of documentation and all this stuff. Be there for your guys. Dude, I'll talk to all the guys that are captains above, whatever. Someone that's going to, I agree, Freddie, that everybody's going to show leadership, right? It might be on different levels. But the guys that are, have the ability to sit in the office while your guys are training, to be there for your guys. Be there for your guys. Let your guys know that you're always there for them. If they screw up, always the answer is always, okay, how are we going to fix this? Okay, you screwed up, right? You back the engine into a wall, whatever it is. I'm on your side, dude. I'm on your side. I've worked for captains. I've worked for supervisors that don't necessarily have that mindset. And that to me displaces my trust in that individual. I don't want to work for that person. Right. So it doesn't matter what it is. Right. I mean, now outside of anything absolutely astronomically crazy, let's not go there, but I'm just saying little things. I have your back. I have your back for the guys that are, in my crew. Dude, empowering, trust is a huge word. I think that I have built my career on people being able to trust me. And that's not just the fact that they can ask me to do something and I'm going to say yes. That's the fact that I'm going to say yes, I'm going to follow through, and then I'm going to follow up. Like you can trust me if you task me with something that it's going to get done. It might not get done right at the beginning, but it's going to be followed up with, and then we're going to make sure that it's all taken care of. Humility. Have some gosh darn humility, right? You are not the best. You do not know everything, right? None of us know everything. Not even the day that we retire do we know everything. And we've all seen it, maybe once, maybe twice, of guys that it's either my way or the highway, boys,
Mm-hmm.
So the best captains in my organization is where I get that everybody can be a leader, but I'm just kind of talking to captains and above here. My favorite person that I've worked for says in the fire engine, hey, what are we having for chow? And it's as little as that, right? Okay. Now I'm talking about a democratic captain here. I own 33.3% of that engine because I am one of 3. What do you guys want for chow? I'm thinking maybe some salmon night. I had salmon last night. Okay, well, let's not do that. As long as we can get 66.6% of the vote, 2 out of the 3, that's what we're going to have, right? A democratic leader is someone. What are we going to do for PT? Now, is there times to be what they call an autocratic leader? Yeah, absolutely. I got to make decisions as a captain as to how we're going to run something. If we're on a call, if we're on a TC, I got to figure out how many resources we need. Those are decisions that I'm going to have to make. And I'm going to say, hey, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you're going to do this. And then we're going to all come together and for the mission, the people, right? So there's those 2 different concepts. But when I get to work and I have a captain that says, "Hey, what are we doing today?" That's a good start, dude. That's a good start. Not, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do today." You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what I'm all about, dude. Fire service is easy. It's easy.
It's
Get
so
along.
easy.
Get along.
So
Leaders that
We
can
are
get along.
we are overpaid janitors,
We are overpaid janitors.
and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be a person
Fun.
that can go along with the flow, man. Go along with the flow. Go along with the flow. If you go against the river, so what is it? I'm going to bring up some stupid concept that just popped into my brain. But what are those king salmon that go against the river? I mean, there's only like
The bears eat
20% of
them.
those mother effers that actually make it to the top to spawn, and
The bears eat them.
right? The bears eat them and everything, but they're going against the stream, man. Go along with the flow. Be there for your crew. That's all I got, on the leadership portion. But it's just like, there's a good captain, there's a bad captain. We've all worked for, the good and the bad and the ugly. And so, not going to name any names for sure. Because
I will.
we've all got them. We've all got them.
Doug has no shame.
I have no shame.
Yeah.
Captain Nick Smith at Field Fire and EMS was recently promoted when I think I was still a rookie when he got promoted. Was the best boss I ever worked for until I got my current boss.
Oh, okay. We went this way. Okay.
Okay, good.
No. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say. Nick was the greatest guy. Nick was exactly what you said, Matt.
Yeah, Nick's a great guy.
You got not this Nick. That Nick's a turd. Nick Smith, great guy.
Look, Nick
man,
Smith.
I understand. Y'all understand what you need to do. Y'all understand what has to happen in a given day. We have sheets to say what we have to do every day. Make those things happen. If I have to do my job, I'll do my job. But until I have to do my job, you're in charge. And that's the way it should be. Now,
go ahead.
No, please chime in.
I think, Matt, you touched on something that I wanted to hit with. There's a time where you have to delegate or what have you, and then there's a time where let's I really like it. I can't remember where I heard it, but leaders lead and bosses need is something that's always stuck in my head, and the way that speaks to me is leaders lead is, hey, this is the drill we're gonna do. We're gonna do, like, let's just say today, at the academy today, we did we did a basement down firefighter basement removal up the stairs. All right, that is a super niche skill, but it's something that I'm very passionate about. Real quick, 1999, there was a firefighter who died because his two of the firefighters that he was working with couldn't get him up 7 stairs. That's
7 stairs.
7 stairs was the cause of his death. So today, the drill that I had, they told me, they said, hey, we need you to work on firefighter or drags, dummy drags. I don't care what you do, whatever. So I went to the tower, and instead of me, and this is going to all come together, I promise. Instead of me saying, all right, here's what you're going to do, and just stood there, I got in there, I showed them. Like, I feel like if I show these students that I'm not above you, like, I'm a firefighter. I mean, I'm just here trying to pass the knowledge on to you that I have. If we're doing a drill at Birmingham and the captain is like, hey, or the lieutenant or battalion chief or the senior guy, hey, we're doing this. This is how I want to have it. This is how we do it. Instead of Freddie and Smith do this, and then stands there and watches. If you get in there, and this is for me, if you get in there and you do the drill and you show me that you're doing it, you're the first one in, like, whatever, as a captain or as a lieutenant, when we do get on scene, and this is where I'm pulling it back together, Rolfie, when you do get on scene and we've done these drills in training together and we've done all this stuff, I know that when you give me an assignment, that you're confident in me because we've done that drill together. So if we pull up on scene and you're like, hey, Freddie, I need you to secure the utilities. Hey, Freddie, I need you to throw a couple ladders on the Delta and the Bravo sides of this building. Hey, I need you to do a primary search. I have no problem taking orders in general, but from an officer that is somebody who's dove in with training with us and is in the thick of it. They are repacking rope bags after we do some type of rappel training or something like that. They're in there. I want to work harder for somebody who wants to train with me instead of to train me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I fully with you. I mean, Nick, again, back to Nick Smith. Nick was that guy for me. I was a rookie. When Nick got promoted, Nick got me through all of my stuff. Nick was a great boss. We got a new rookie. Things progressed. Freddie, to kind of touch on what you're talking about, when I went to drill school, there was a lot of lieutenants and captains who worked extra time at the academy. And when we graduated and hit the bricks, those officers, those company officers knew they had a lot of them come down to teach recruit school because they want to learn, hey, how do these recruits perform in whatever the scenario is, whether it be a live burn or like you said, a rescue up 7 stairs or, a basement rescue upstairs for a RIT drill or whatever. But a lot of company officers will come down there and, in my opinion, teach for that reason. They're not there to make the money. They're there to see what kind of recruit they're getting to the field. Because if I get that recruit, or if that recruit comes to my battalion and I'm on a high priority call with said recruit and I have to depend on said recruit, are they capable, in my opinion, of toting that mail? Excuse me.
Can you give them an assignment and know that the assignment that was given, even if you're just a senior guy and you hear the lieutenant, hey man, I need you to go do XYZ. Oh, that dude's solid. I don't need to look over his shoulder.
Right. Because they see in the recruit school that, hey, XYZ, A, B, and C, those are solid cats in the recruit school. I don't need to give them any instruction other than do this. Got you, boss. I'm on top of it. I talked, I don't remember if I did not say it in a podcast. I said it in my interview for the peer support team. In 2018, we had my first fatal fire that I went to. Again, I'm just talking about, we're talking about leadership. My first battalion chief when I was a rookie, she gave me an order that night at my first fatal fire. It was, I think 5 or 6 people died that night. It might have been 5, but several kids. When I was a driver of the second end apparatus, and I got the water supply taken care of, sent water, and I've got my air pack on. I'm running up to the scene, and I'm putting my face piece on as I walk up to the scene because I know I got to go to work. My battalion chief looked at me and I said, "What do you need, boss?" And I had my face piece on, so I'm yelling, "What do you need, boss?" And she looked at me and she pointed, and at the Alpha Bravo corner, there was a car on fire. The garage was on fire. Half of the house was on fire, but the garage was on fire, and that car was on fire, and the lines that they had stretched to the back of the house were right up under the tires of that car. So obviously we've got an issue. She looked at me and she said, "You fucking fix that." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I took off. And that's all I needed her to say. She trusted in me to address that issue because she had the faith in me as a 2-year guy, or a year and a half at that point. But the knowledge that she had gained from the instructors telling her who I was and whatnot, as a leader, she trusted in me to say, "Doug, I need you to go fix that. And I don't have time to debate it right now. You fucking fix that." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And
or
I took off.
Explain it.
No, right. I don't need you to explain it. You said fix it. I got it, boss. No problem. I went to the engine, the first due engine. I pulled another line because that was the only line left on the engine. And I said, "Hey, send me some water on this." And I fixed it because she didn't need to tell me anything else. But she trusted in me that I was able to do that. And I appreciate that. Nick, you're picking boogers over there. What are you doing? Chime
Nothing.
in.
I picked my eye.
No, you and whatever.
Whatever.
You got something to add here?
Mine kind of going off, not off topic, staying on topic, but kind of going back to what Rolfie said. Ralphie, when what you said, you remind me of, you bring light or positivity to like a bad situation. For example,
which is what we want.
what okay, here you backed into a building or you scraped the side of your mirror on the fire station, backing it in. You're probably gonna tow the ride up. I mean, you damage city property to the building. Now, granted, the building's made of brick and mortar, so it's not gonna hurt anything. But you've damaged a truck. You got forms, all this, that, and the out. And the driver of that apparatus is probably mad at himself, mad at the situation, and now he's back of mind. Dang it! Now I got to get a ride up.
Dang it!
But see, I'll give you an example. I was late. If you're late to work here, automatic, you're getting rode up.
Yes, same.
Unless you have a really, really good alibi or something to back it up, you're getting a ride up.
Same. We have zero tolerance for late. I don't know why. We have so. As a paramedic,
yeah, go ahead.
If I was an RSI medic, I have the ability to take your life from you. And I have less accountability for that as I do being late for work.
Getting
rapid
to work,
sequence intubation is what RSI means.
Right. Sorry. Yes. I have the ability to paralyze you and take your life from you while I intubate you. But being late to work is a bigger issue.
Quickest
carry on, Nick.
We tell guys in the academy the quickest way to get fired, or the majority of the reasons people get fired from this job, is because they can't get to work on time.
Yes. Or lying.
For example, I overslept. It happens. I woke up. You're supposed to be here at 7:45. I woke up at 7:49. 5-6 missed calls. I'm like, crap. I called. I said, look, I just woke up. I'm gonna be late. He said, whatever you do not speed. You're late. You're gonna get rode up. And I was just like so upset. And he's just like, dude, it's an oral. It's nothing. It's an oral. It's documented. It goes away after a year.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I've been late twice, and I'm a 10-year captain. It doesn't affect you. Your pay's the same. It's just a slap on the wrist.
Yep.
If you're late again, then now you're getting a written reprimand. It's another slap on the wrist. You're probably going to get talked to find out if there's a problem. Do we need to move you closer to you? They will try everything. That the city will try to do everything they can to help you. We had a cat here. His house was like an hour away, and he was late to work 3 times in like 3 months. So what they did is they moved him to the closest station possible to his house to try to help him from being late. So they'll try to work with you, or just saying, hey, what's the problem? How can we get you to work on time? Do we need to call you in the morning to get you out of bed? I mean, let's figure out a solution here. But my supervisor, my captain, Michael Horn was his name. Greatest captain I ever worked for.
Michael Horn.
He brought positivity. He's like, man, don't sweat it. It ain't no big deal. It happens.
Fucking Michael.
Michael. It could go 2 ways too. And that's a sign of a good leader too. You already know, Nick, you're late. He told you, hey man, you're already catching a right up. There's no reason to speed.
Yes, take your time, bro.
Whether you get here 1 minute late or 40 minutes late, you're still catching right up.
Right. Don't get yourself hurt. If you're 15 minutes or if you're 10 hours late, you're still fucking late, man.
And if you get a speeding ticket coming to work, that's another write up. Automatic.
But that's a problem. Being late is not a real problem. Being a driving hazard is a problem. Like that's an issue.
If you're so much as charged with a speeding ticket,
Matt's on mute. Matt, why were you muted?
He's in. Laughing? He wants to get in.
Go ahead.
No, it's not that I'm against policy.
No,
we're not against policy, and neither are you guys. And I'm not insinuating that you are. I'm just saying for myself, I'm listening to you guys. And months before, I've been there for 9 years, and I literally did the same thing, Nick. I woke up, I slept through my alarm, and I'm a solid hour from work. And I called my relief first, and I said, "Hey, buddy, I'm going to be late."
Hey, Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, the captain knew. But I'll tell you right now, my chief didn't know until now. And that's not a
Statute of
bad thing.
limitations, goddammit.
And that's not a bad thing, because I'll tell you, and we had this conversation off air before about a different podcast about a guy that brought up, a situation where, or a topic where he's on to another bottle. He brought up a topic where, the generation nowadays is, I'm going to show up at 07 for my 07 shift, or for, even outside of the fire service, doesn't matter. I'm going to show up right on time because that's what you're paying me for.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I mean, at an early age, like, I did not have that mentality. So I have a really hard time with that.
No. Yeah. I fully with you.
But everybody makes mistakes. It happens, man. And I don't agree with that you're late.
Throwing the book at them.
You ate it. And I get it. There's going to be people that, you work with, and I'm not going to, get too crazy, but that are going to listen to this, but I just don't agree with it. It's Nick. I'm sure you're a great guy. You're a good hardworking employee, and you don't deserve.
He's really not.
I'm lazy.
Well, maybe you are. Yeah. Well, the guys that are listening to this podcast that you work with, they hit me up, directly and tell me give me some trash on this guy. But anyways, I don't know. I only ended up being 10, 15 minutes late because I sped. All that.
What are you saying?
It's a generational thing. I'm a Gen Xer, and my first job as an adult was at the penitentiary. Excuse me. And I always got to work an hour early. And then 6 months after I started that job, I got promoted. So I was a supervisor. So I had to be at work early to kind of figure out what was going on with the shift that day and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, all that did was just carry on my entire professional life. I have been an hour early to work my entire professional life. We shift change at 8 o'clock. I get to work now at 6:40, 6:45. I go upstairs, shower, shave, and all that at work, and I'm ready to go by 7:10 at the latest. But regardless, I'm in the fire station.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that since the day I got hired, because it was just ingrained in me as a youngster. And I don't need a supervisor to tell me, hey, man, I want you to be here early. Well, you can't tell me to be here early. You could tell me to be on time, but in my generation, early's on time is late.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
and if you're late, you might as well not even show up.
Right. If you're late, I'd rather you be 2 hours late than 10 minutes late. Just give me some time. You know what I mean? Like, don't show up 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We have
do y'all deal with that at all?
Well, the people being late. Yeah. But everybody has, it in each of your fire station. This guy shows up at 5 o'clock in the morning. This guy shows up at 5:30. This guy shows up at 6. You have those people, they have set times. So like you say, in the new generation, people, you want to come in at 7 o'clock in the morning? That's fine. But it's very easily for you to be there at 7:01 and get your ride up, get in trouble. All of us kind of get into work early. So I know that there's a couple guys in my stations. If they don't show up by 6:30 in the morning, and the shift starts at 7, we need to call them. We need to send them a text message. We'll start with a text. So they might be stopping at the store on the way in. We're a few minutes late, but we know something's wrong, that they're not there at a certain time. And I've had captains, if you call him, if you're a 6:15 guy in the morning, you're 45 minutes early every day, and you call him like, look, I'm running a little bit late. I'm going to get there like 10 minutes after shift change. He'd be like, don't worry about it. I'll cover you. I'm going to tell them that you're here, but don't screw me. Mm-hmm. If you screw me, you're done. You'll never get this deal again. And we have covered each other for that, because my station, we're Salem 4-man engine company, but we have about 11 people in our station between both shifts. And we're a tight-knit group. We watch each other's backs, we cover each other's back, and nobody screws anybody over. And so if you're a few minutes late and you tell us, and you're not the habitual, we do have one shows up at 6:40, like 6:45, 6:50, 6:55. And he's called in and said, oh, I'm here at the station. I saw it too. As he just gets on the base, he calls in, he goes, oh yeah, I just showed up. and he still got 10 minutes to go. But yeah, we cover each other's butts.
Two things on an Unky. One, again, B shift expects me starting at 6:45, 6:40 to 6:50 is kind of when I arrive.
Mhm.
Last week, one day when I reached over to hit my snooze button because I was just really struggling that morning, I didn't hit the snooze on the iPhone. I hit the stop at the bottom, so it turned it off altogether. Thank God, my natural alarm clock wakes me up. But to touch on the second thing you talked about, look, man, there's a lot of guys. We have a short time trade policy. And again, like Freddie talked about buddy time earlier. Well, I'm sorry, that was probably off camera. But regardless, the buddy time thing, you have an hour of unofficial trade time. If you know that a guy is working the day before, hey, man, look, sorry, man, my alarm just went off. Can you cover an hour for me? Work it out. You know what I mean? Like, again, we're not trying to supersede policy because that's a whole nother issue. But we're also not trying to hem anybody up for making an honest mistake. Again, because again, 2 weeks ago, I had that honest mistake. Instead of hitting the snooze button, which is right here, I hit the stop button, which is down here. And I didn't know I did it. I just reached over and hit the goddamn thing, and it stopped. All right, cool, man. I'm snoozing. I'm thinking 9 more minutes, it's going off again. Honest mistake. Granted, I get up early enough, again, to get to work at 6:40 where I don't have to worry about that. But it's an honest mistake. Don't back to the leadership thing. Don't assume that your people are trying to take advantage of you or the department or the company or whatever the case may be in your situation. Don't assume that they're trying to take advantage of that. Hey, it's an honest mistake. It is what it is. Now, if a pattern develops, that's a whole nother issue.
Yes.
Whole other issue.
Whole nother issue.
Nicholas?
Two things. The cell phone alarm clock, it's very common. But
I don't know of anybody who has an actual alarm clock anymore.
Well,
do you have an alarm clock?
I do, and because I would tell you why. My phone did an update in the middle of the night.
Oh.
And wiped out my alarms.
What?
Thank the Lord, I woke up in the middle of the night and looked, and my phone was like push passcode to restart after restarting phone. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's why I like my old man bladder. Get up in the middle of the night.
That's right.
I'm just going to tell you.
Tell them again, huh? Tell them again.
Go to Amazon and just get you a basic alarm clock. They're like $10. But I want to give an example.
That's too much light in the bedroom, Nick.
No.
Yeah.
No. The alarm clock is too much.
Yeah, the alarm clock's too much light.
Oh. I want to give an example of
put the Jason mask away.
Butthead leadership. This is a true story. We had a guy.
Cool.
Doug, you get to work early, right? And you're talking about guys getting there at 5:30. We had a guy getting to work early. A lot of people sit in their vehicles, whatever, play on their telephones until it's about time to go in.
Why? That makes no sense.
Because it's 5:30 in the morning. They don't want to go in and wake a bunch of people up. But anyways, he fell asleep in his car.
In the parking lot.
In the parking lot.
Oh, my God.
People didn't see this guy.
And was late.
Shift change. The captain walks out there, taps on the glass. He says, do me a favor. Sign this right here. He wrote him up.
No way.
He says, sign this right here because you're late for work, sleeping in your truck.
Bro, your credibility is gone.
You're not dressed. I'm like, dude, all you had to do is like, hey.
No. Oh my God.
Doug's still out there sleeping? Yeah. Well, can you get him up? Because he's got to be ready for work in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No
people knew he was out there. And that's
they did. I'm saying you literally walked by this man and y'all took pictures and laughed about it.
Bro, your credibility and respect is fucking zero now.
And because
zero, less than
like
zero.
This guy, I'm like, how is that leadership? What are you telling your guys?
That's not leadership at all. That's being a douchebag.
And he tried to appeal it and lost. And they basically threw the book at him. It was like, well, policy states. I'm like,
no.
That's jacked up, man.
No, policy says X, but common sense says Y and Z. Like, don't be a douchebag.
If I was at fire,
he's on the county property or the city property, or whatever the case may be. Come on now. And he's been here for 30 minutes. Like, bro.
I would pull that supervisor in. I'm like, I just want to know why you did what you did instead of helping your guy because this looks bad on you.
No,
And everybody, and word travels around town.
Yes,
fast.
Tell a phone, tell a friend, tell a fireman.
It didn't take long for everybody to catch wind of this. It was like, wow, that's what you did. That's how you roll.
Bingo.
Only people you're getting now is fresh recruits.
Bingo.
You don't have a choice. Nobody's going to put in to come work for you.
There's one thing I wanted to toss out there to you guys, because I think all of us have been the senior guy on our departments. I'm not in that spot right now.
You're a rookie, Freddie.
I am. I'm a 1-year guy, but
you are. But that's okay.
But the thing that I wanna, as a senior guy, I think a good leadership aspect or a good leadership trait would be when somebody's messing up, because you're gonna have those rookies, you're gonna have those people who eventually struggle, is to be able to, not in front of everybody, because that's low hanging fruit, to be in front of everybody, be like, ha, you don't know what you're doing, right? But to, along the side, after training's done or what have you, pull them aside and be like, hey man, let's go through those algorithms again real quick. Or, hey, what is it? I noticed that you're off today. You usually can get those stairs done in 5 minutes. It took you 10. Something going on at home. And again, it goes back to kind of like that mental health aspect. But I think being a leader is being able to recognize somebody who needs help, even if they don't think they need it, or even if everybody else is just piling on. Like, just, hey man, do you need help? Working at Halligan or what have you. So that's just something that I wanted to throw out there. Like, pull a guy aside, just be like, hey man, let's work on this together. Let's go downstairs. And
the best leadership in the fire service specifically is the senior man who is calm, relaxed, and recognizes what Freddie just talked about. It's not a company officer. It's not a gray shirt in my department. It's not a gray shirt. It's not a single bar, double bar, clusters, whatever. It's the senior fireman who, like me, I don't think I ever want to promote, and that's fine. I'll be shut up, Freddie. I'll be a 16-ish year fireman by the time I retire because I brought some state service. But the senior firemen who, we've got some 20, 25 year, all of you have 20, 25 year firemen. It's those guys who bring home the, hey man, here's the deal. It's not the company officer who's, y'all, everybody's seen the image of it's a ancient Egypt, I think, of a guy who's leading from the back versus leading from the front, or directing from the front. Like, I don't remember how it's worded, but you've all seen that image. It's that. Mm-hmm. The senior fireman, in my opinion, has more clout than the company officer, who is either recent, even a 10-year lieutenant. It all depends on the lieutenant or the company officer, but that senior fireman has more stroke with the firemen, the people where the boots hit the ground, than anybody, because they've lived it
for sure.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, guys. It's getting close to shift change. My recipe: easy baked salmon. So we take a slab of salmon. That's it. Take some mayo. Take some Duke's mayo. Mix your favorite seasoning with that mayo, and lightly show the mayonnaise to the salmon. Just very thin layer. Bake it 350, 20 to 30 minutes till it's flaky. Done.
Baked salmon.
Recipes on my website.
Matt loves the salmon. Cardiac guy. Bake it.
Use some olive oil mayo if you want to. Like, say,
whoa,
thin layer.
All right, you're going too far.
Duke makes it. Duke makes
Duke
it.
does. It's got a green label.
Yeah.
Nicholas,
What
we're
you
done.
got?
We're done.
What?
We appreciate you joining us tonight, superstar.
Oh yeah.
Hey, who's got the tip? Anybody got one? I can throw one out if we don't have one.
Chief Nakahoma tomorrow. We're gonna wear the national.
Take it away, Freddie.
Freddie,
Freddie.
send it.
So there's a lot of tools that we use in the fire service. Every truck, every ambulance, every squad, everything.
Your brain.
Yeah, your brain. They carry lots of tools. It is imperatively important that you are familiar with all of the tools. But my rookie tip today is find one that you are most comfortable with, learn all the ins and outs of it, and become as close to an expert on that tool as you can, so that when the time is needed, you can step up and you can be the guy that is relied upon when you need forcible entry and you got to use that Halligan. That's the tip.
Or a lockout kit.
Because I'm off the what's the word I'm looking for?
Wagon.
I'm not excuse me.
Wagon.
No, well, yes,
Wagon.
yes, but I'm not so cookie cutter when it comes to first tool I grab when I'm off the unit. So we'll talk about that next week.
All right, very good.
Monkey wrench.
Not a monkey wrench. What are you showing at Nicholas? What is that, Nicholas?
Bottle opener.
That's
Bottle
trailers.
That's 323. Yeah.
Yeah. Never
Fireman
forget.
323. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
I don't
Thanks,
know what
everybody, for
323
sticking in. Thanks for coming to the Cool Man Podcast. We'll see you next time.
The
Bye-bye.
cool man.
The
It's
Cool
not the
Fireman
man.
podcast.
Cool fireman.